to someone who's quite instrumental now in making sure that this place is successful. I'm speaking to the CEO, Andrew Zaluma. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Morning. Morning.
What was it about this place that made it the very first World Heritage Site in South Africa? I'm not sure what the criteria was, but it certainly had to be doing something right for it to get noticed.
I think it was recognised by Mandela's cabinet as South Africa's natural wonder, and it went along with Robben Island and the cradle of humankind. And to be a World Heritage Site, you have to have an outstanding universal value. It's like going to the Olympics. If you don't do 100 metres under 10 seconds, you don't make it. Isimangaliso is listed because of its biodiversity, because of the ecosystems, and because of its pure beauty. And 180 countries had to agree that this is Miss Universe or Mr. Universe.
And it deserves the crown. I mean, I don't think the camera does justice to just how exquisite this place is. But over and above the natural beauty, it must have some sort of significance for those who are living around it, so that it's not just the ambience or the aesthetics, but that economically people can benefit from here. How important is that?
Isimangaliso and the region around it is the second poorest area in South Africa. You've got 640,000 people. So conservation here cannot work as conservation, and we have a slogan, develop to conserve, and it's become a major driver of economic employment in this area. It now accounts for almost 1% of South Africa's tourism GDP and 6,000 direct tourism jobs. So it's very significant for local people, and of course it looks like it does because people have inhabited for generations from time immemorial. For example, at Cozy Bay with the fish crawls, there's 700 years of those operating and they're still functioning today. So you can't divorce people from nature. They're two in the one.
And I think that's also quite important considering today's World Rhino Day, that making sure that we look after these majestic beasts, these gentle giants such as the rhino, is not only significant for our culture, for our heritage, but also for our back pocket.
Absolutely. When Isimangaliso was established, and it was only established in 2000, there were very few rhino in the park, and we've systematically built up those populations. And also Mandela reintroduced elephant into the park, eland, all sorts of animals. So effectively all the original occurring species are now back in the park, and from a tourism point of view it's hugely important. It helps nature, it helps the World Heritage values, but it also creates a platform for tourism, and obviously from that you get empowerment, transformation and jobs.
Now, there's a number of approaches to curbing rhino poaching. It's not only government that has to come to the fore. It's a security matter, it's a policing matter, it's a community matter. But I want to know, as the park, what are you doing to safeguard the rhino?
I think what we've done that is novel, and today is a culmination of that, is we've worked with 75 schools that directly abut the park. It's about 10,250 school learners have walked across the park. And today some of them will be coming to get awards. And to create awareness with youth is not only talking about tomorrow's leaders, they go home and they influence their parents. And of course, community that are conservation minded helps with successes to curb rhino poaching. So it really starts on the ground, and it starts village to village, section of the park to section of the park.
Now, you spoke a little bit earlier about the park having won the, I suppose, the metaphor of Miss Universe, or been crowned as a World Heritage Site. You yourself, though, have an accolade that I think is worth noticing. You're 6 weeks into that title, but you won the WWF, I think, Living Lands, was it called, the title for this year, 2015?
It's Global Living Planets Award, which is a WWF award. I must say, in receiving it, it was almost as much as a prize as getting bumped by a buffalo this year. It was completely unexpected, and it really is due to the team and the work that's gone here. It's really not about one person. We've had a very dedicated team in place for almost 10 years, and it really reflects on everybody's work, starting off with government.
I think congratulations are in order for that, and we're glad that you're okay today. And I think your wife also was in that incident with the buffalo, am I not mistaken?
She was, and she still hasn't forgiven me.
We'll discuss that a little bit later off air. But yeah, so it just goes to show that he's not just a paper pusher in the office, but also does interact with the wildlife, so much so that perhaps chase him for it. Let's leave it there, at least for now, and enjoy some beautiful music. And Maqing, giving us some beautiful sounds, especially because it is still Heritage Month. Enjoy.
In pursuit of an ancient mythical remedy, annihilation of a species gaining as we speak. Ngiyakutshela wena in the